roller coaster ride that has been Sunderland in 2022. It has been unbelievable. So many ups, however a lot of downs as well. That 6-0 loss against Bolton was a real good turning point, but it was an awful day for me, I'm not gonna lie, especially travelling down there and everything. But we'll get to it in this video. It's going to be everything in 2022 and going forward. I want to talk about where I think we will be in the next few years. Hopefully, touch wood, a Prem side, but it's Sunderland at the end of the day. If we end up down in the non-league, it wouldn't surprise us. But hopefully under this new ownership and, you know, management and whatever's going to come, we'll be able to sort ourselves out. But yeah, what a year we've had. Let's talk about it, and please do like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate yous. Start of 2022 was so promising, and the end of 2021 it was phenomenal. Everyone was high flying. We thought we were going to push for automatics, never mind needing playoffs. We ended up, you know, battering the likes of Morecambe 5-0, battering the likes of Chef Wed 5-0, 3-0 against Donny. We were having some good games. We looked unstoppable. Start of 2022, it was still promising. 3-3 draw against Wickham. I remember it like it was yesterday. We got a late winner. They then got an even later equaliser. It was just a good game. Third versus fourth. No one was really too bothered that we ended up drawing it.
Has Stewart on the run. Here he is, and he's got the touch, and it's in! Is he going to do it again? It's in the mix, it's there to be fought for, and it's scrambled in! Joe!
Because at the end of the day we were still looking like a solid side, but then all really went downhill after that. We ended up losing against Lincoln, which we should never have done, drawing against Axe Stanley in an awful game of football. We then went on to beat Pompey, but then the big day came around, the game where if any other team was looking at it, they would not have gone and done what we did, because the repercussions of what happened realistically set us up for the next year, and it made all this success come possible. The worst away day of all time, genuinely. We were so hopeful going down. We were like, right, Bolton, surely we'll win, like 3-4-0. I mean, there was a lot of goals, just they were all scored against us, and this is the only time I've really left a match early. But it got to 5-0, and it's an away day, and this is frowned upon, but I was out of there. I did not want to stay. I was fuming. Everyone was livid. People were calling for Lee Johnson to be sacked, and then next day he was sacked, and people were like, what have we done? This should not have happened. We've got no chance of promotion now. You know, a lot of people still thinking he's the right man for the job. We were sitting in third and we sacked him. That is unheard of. But people didn't see the way we played that day. People didn't understand. Being there was no passion, there was no leadership, there was nothing. I don't care if we were sitting in first, sacking that man was the right decision. And although Alex Neil came in, and a lot of people were very doubtful, and he didn't have that good of a start, that man blessed us. And we're going to have a look through his journey, because although I'm still very, very salty about, you know, his departure, and we'll get onto that, he really was our saviour of the minute. So you'd think as soon as Lee Johnson had left and we got Alex Neil in, things would get better. They didn't. They really didn't. For a few games we had a caretaker manager who just made things a lot worse. He is useless. I forgot his name, but he is awful. I'm sure he does good as his job, but every time he's came in as a caretaker manager, the bloke is awful. Lost 2-1 against Donny, lost 2-1 against Cheltenham, bearing in mind these were teams in a relegation battle, and Donny did end up going down, so it was not looking good for us. Then Alex Neil's first game when we draw against Wimbledon, still not great. In a relegation battle, they were not looking good. Then we lose against MK Dons at home. Although MK Dons were on an automatic charge, so were we. We should not be losing against them at the Sol, bearing in mind our home record this year was absolutely phenomenal. Then drawing against Burton, and we thought at this point he's had 3 games in charge, that's it, we're going to settle for a mid-table position. Until the famous away day, which I ended up going on, and I've been to the 2 most influential away days last year, and it was the Wigan 3-0 win. Because it wasn't just a 3-0 win against anyone, it wasn't just, you know, a scrapey win. We dominated that Wigan side. Bearing in mind, this is the Wigan side, not that you'll see now bottom of the championship. This was a Wigan side that looked quite good, and they won the league this year. They are a good side, and they were a good League One side. and we ended up battering them. Now, we have a good record against Wigan, but that's besides the point. This just proved to everyone that he was inspiring these players. We could actually get something out of this season. And the games that followed this, we went unbeaten for so long, and it was magical. 0-0 against Charlton, 3-1 against Fleetwood, 2-0 against Crewe, 0-0 against Lincoln, and then after that set of games, it just got even better. So those sets of games were a bit shaky. We were getting 0-0 draws and stuff like that, but then what preceded was absolutely unbelievable. The period of Sunderland Football Club that will forever be known as late winners. It was phenomenal. It started off with the Gillingham game, 90+5, Nathan Broadhead sitting at the Sol on what I believe to be a Tuesday night. It was magical. You'll never say anything like it. The limbs that was coming, just everybody hugging each other, because bearing in mind we had have good form up until this point, but when you draw in 0-0 in the 94th minute to Gillingham at home, no way in hell are you getting promotion. And then the man, the myth, the legend, Broadhead steps up and gives us a moment of beauty, and you just think for a split second it can happen. Something can happen this year. This is our year. And it was moments like this, and I'm going to show you a few, because my god, it was late equaliser, late winner, back to back to back. It was magical. Away from home as well, I didn't get to go to this match, but 89th minute winner by Embleton, sitting in your house genuinely by yourself, screaming at the TV out of joy. It doesn't get better than that, and that's what this club is all about. It's ridiculous. This was the following game, and we just thought we were in pure paradise at this point, because bearing in mind, I'll show you the league table, we were climbing it. We had just beaten Oxford, a team who it was either us or them to get in the playoffs, and we gone and scored in the 89th minute. Bearing in mind, if we didn't get those late winners that we did, and there's more to follow, we would still be rotten in League One this year. So thank you, Nathan Broadhead. Although you went to Wigan, you are an absolute hero, because he continued this, so on, so forth. He was a legend. And then 5 games left, we're sitting in 7th. We'd still needed somewhat of a miracle, but we were getting closer and closer to finally reaching paradise. When I tell you late winner after late winner, I'd mean no lie, because here we go again, Nathan Broadhead. The following game, after 2 late winners, we do it again at the Sol. What a thrilling match this was. But when it got to the 90th minute and we were drawing 2-2 against Shrewsbury, going down in the 8th place, and we're thinking, well, it's over again. But then a glimmer of hope, it appears, and genuinely nothing like it. It is the best feeling in the world, because this carried on throughout our little run for the playoffs. It was magical, and it was all to Alex Neil, because he put something in those players, and I don't know what it was, but he said something to them at half time. He was just like, go out and win it, because whatever he said to him must have been absolutely inspirational, because every single game we came out fighting with true passion. But yeah, 92nd minute by Nathan Broadhead, man. It just doesn't get better than that. 2 more games followed after that one. A 0-0 draw against Plymouth, which we were happy about, because it realistically was a very tough game to win. And then a 5-1 win at home against Cambridge, and we were all buzzing. But we knew that wasn't it, because let's have a look at this league table. You can't see the points, but 6th place, 5th place, and even 4th place, it was anyone's game. So Plymouth sitting in 5th on 79 points, Sunderland sitting in 6th on 78 points, Wickham sitting in 7th on 77 points, and Oxford sitting in 8th on 75 points. Realistically, any of those people could get promotion here. It came down to the last day in the end. But realistically, the biggest game of the season was Rotherham at home, and you won't guess what happened. A late winner or equaliser. This game right here determined everything. We went into that last game feeling confident, and looking back on it, I don't know why, because it was anyone's game still, but that flying header by the Rotherham centre-back to score in his own net. Some point in his life he must have been a Sunderland fan, because I've never seen anything like it. Rotherham were realistically already safe, although they were still challenging for the title, if you will. I'm not even sure if they were, but I think they were still challenging for automatics, but I don't know what he was doing. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because he ended up scoring an own goal. You'll never see celebrations like it for an own goal. But at this point, we all knew we were going up, but there was still the last day, and I'm going to explain what happened on the last day because it was mental. Our last day didn't really mean much because we could have lost this game 5-0 and we still would have gone up, but only because of another game that happened, and I'll explain that in a second. It is a very sad story, but Nathan Broadhead again showing us why he was an unbelievable player. Sadly he's gone now, but again, of course, it was him that scored. He single-handedly won us promotion. This was probably the most devastating thing I've ever seen. Plymouth fans were crying because realistically up until this point they were in the top 6 throughout the whole year, looking like a strong contender, and then on the last day they fell out, and no one wants to see that. Luckily this year they're getting back in the stride and they're doing, you know, what they should be doing because they have a good side, Kamara and stuff like that. They have some good players. But yeah, I'm surprised MK Dons didn't win the playoffs. They were phenomenal, fighting for automarks throughout the whole season. But yeah, they ended up battering Plymouth. So it was MK Dons, Sheff, Wed, Oxford fell out, Plymouth fell out, but we were in it, and so was Wickham. A good playoff, and we were sitting in, I believe, 4th at this point, so we were going to play Sheff Wed, and then MK Dons ended up playing Wickham because it was 3rd versus 6th, and we were happy with that. We were worried about Sheffield Wednesday, and to this day, I still worry about playing them. They're a solid side. But yeah, we thought we'd beat them 5-0 before. It could go either way, but I was confident. What can be said about the playoffs? It was something to be dreamed of this year. We never thought we'd get here. And to have Sheff Wed as well, it was phenomenal. The atmosphere was magical. Passion, pride were your side. Just genuinely one of the best games of football I've ever been to, that home leg. And the best atmosphere I've ever seen anywhere, just any stadium. It was just unbelievable, but we couldn't celebrate too hard knowing that we had to go to Hillsborough, bearing in mind it's such a historic ground. You know, the odds were in their favour to get something, and they did. They got a goal, but then Patrick Roberts, mini Messi, running down the wing, 89th minute, and he just goes and he shows us what it's all about. The absolute passion on his face. It was genuinely something to be desired by other clubs, because the roller coaster of emotions you get as a Sunderland fan, it is magical. I've never seen anything like it, because I went the first leg, unbelievable atmosphere, sat in my living room with my mate for the second leg, genuinely crying, and I have no shame in saying that, crying when they scored, but then when we scored, crying as well, but for a different reason. Like, it genuinely gets me every time, because you don't understand how hard it is to go through playoffs and win it, and from where we came from at the start of that year to actually won in the semi-final, and we were all so confident for the final. It was Wickham, little old Wickham. We knew at that point that there was no upsets going on. I mean, Petel was still worrying and everyone was thinking, are we going to do it, are we going to win? But I knew, and a lot of people knew in the back of their minds, this was our year. And we'll go on to Wembley, but just what a game of football these two legs were. And thank you, Patrick Roberts, because yeah, Lord and Saviour.
No, Stewart's through from a mistake. Oh my God! Oh my God! This is exceptional. Look how much it means to all the fans. Oh my God! That roar! The Pyros! The Tinker Man. Oh my God! In injury time, Sunderland have done it.
I need to say anything about this day or weekend in general. It was the best day of my life. Nothing comes close. Genuinely, nothing comes close. It was absolutely magical. I cannot describe it. 50,000 people who bleed Sunderland. Nothing comes close to the joy of your city just doing something. 50,000 Mackems down in London, a place that not a lot of us have gone to visit, not a lot of us want to visit. You know, we're from the northeast, this is our place, this is our city, and we go down there and every corner is just someone in a Sunderland shirt. You're just saying hello to everyone and seeing people you recognise, and just, it was unbelievable. It was pure magic. Not even the game. The game was great. I mean, it was fine. It was a good game. We won. Like, hearing everyone chant Wise Men Say, and it made us cry. And when the goals went in, I was bouncing and crying. And but it was just the whole, everything about it was, yeah, it was something to be remembered, because I'll never forget that until I die. But to live that at the age of 17, I mean, I'm a lucky man. But yeah, don't get better than that. I'll put some videos in now. But yeah, the game was no question. As soon as we stepped on that field, singing about 10,000 Wycombe fans and 50,000 Mackems, there was no question we'd won that game. Yeah, 12 man is a real thing, and those players knew that, because we were behind them 1,000%. But yeah, what a day, what a weekend, and what a way to end the season.
Sunderland are up!
Of the championship season, we were dreaming again, drawing against Coventry, beating Bristol City, late winners away from home, an amazing away day, drawing against QPR, although they did score a late equaliser, losing against Sheffield United but showing real heart under Alex Neil, beating Stoke, losing against Norwich, and then the man leaves, and I wish I could defend him, and I understand he's moving close with his family. But if he got us promotion, or if he even did something in the championship, he would go down as one of our best managers. The man is a legend, and we really thought so highly of him and that he was irreplaceable. But we found a replacement under Tony Mowbray, and a lot of people are saying Alex Neil would have done a better job. I completely disagree. The man has really reformed Sunderland, and although he can't do tactical changes, his substitutions are a bit weak, he's still got us fighting, and he's still got us showing real passion, because the results show it. Battered Rotherham 3-0 in his first game, lose against Middlesbrough, it was a scrapey one, it's a hard game to win. Batter Reading 3-0, draw against Watford, draw against Preston, draw against Blackpool. Some good results, some hard fought results here. It goes a little bit downhill, we lose against Blackburn, Swansea, we beat Wigan. But if we have a look at matchday 13, which was then when those results end, we are sitting in a promotion spot. Everyone's behind him. And although we have had a little bit of a fall after that, you know, we lose against Burnley when realistically we should have beat them. We were 2-0 up, we end up losing 4-2. It wasn't great. We then get drawn against Luton, which we should have won it again. But then we go away from home, we beat Huddersfield, we lose against Cardiff, we beat Birmingham, we batter Millwall. Like, some weird results here, and we go and lose to West Brom. Like, it's shaky, don't get me wrong, under Tony Mowbray, but I think he's the right man for this job, because then we go and draw against Hull, and more recently we beat Blackburn, we beat Wigan, we draw against Blackpool, and now if we have a look at the current match day, which is match day 25, we are sitting in a promotion spot, and this is the point we're up to now. This is the season done. We're sitting in 4th place. We are sitting somewhere where we can really push for something here. We can really go on and do something. Like, there is no way that we end up getting relegated. We've got no real worry of that. But like, there isn't a way here where I think it goes badly. I think for us here, promotion wouldn't be the best thing. I think we're going to get relegated straight away if we go up. But there's no reason we can't get a long-term thing with Tony Mowbray here, trusting him for a few years. And we see stuff like this happen every year where we're fighting for something. But yeah, I'm confident in us this year, and I know I shouldn't be, because the teams around us are phenomenal. But I think we are as well, and with the likes of Diallo and the likes of Ross Stewart, and although Ellis Sims has just gone and that's a massive blow, of course it happens to us, I really think this could be our year. And looking forward and projecting it, I think if we don't go up this year, we're going up next year. And then I think when we go up in the Premier League, if it is next year, I think we'll stay there for a while. And I think in 10 years, we'll start fighting for stuff. And I'm talking real stuff. I'm talking FA Cups. I'm talking Champions League spots. And I know I sound ridiculous, but my God, the 50s Bank of England, we've got to get there eventually. And I think, why not our generation? I'd love it. Obviously, and I'm getting a bit hopeful here, but we're sitting in 6th place in the Championship, and I don't know what to say, but it is magical and it is phenomenal. I keep using these words because that's what it is. And following Sunderland is a roller coaster. We've been 15th in the Championship this year, we've been 3rd, we've been 6th, we've been 11th in League One, we've been everywhere. And I think this is our year, or if not this year, next year, but this is our generation at least, surely. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this little roundup. It's just basically me rambling about how much I love Sunderland, but I really do, and I hope if you're any neutrals watching, you understand that this is the life of a Sunderland fan, just pure joy, but also pure devastation sometimes. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and please do like and subscribe. And like I said, Sunderland are going up in the big league, so watch out.